hundreds of people to die because they could get COVID and all that lot. Don't forget, they brought that ban thing in the April of 2020, so he could have done it for that reason.
Yeah, he could have just got tired of somebody following him around with a fucking Model A cow.
Yeah, he could have done it for that reason, but whatever if he pulled it, he'd done it for the right reasons. He'd done it for the right reasons. I believe that man 110%. He's done nothing wrong.
So that would put him in a position. Let's say he knows he's old. He knows the end's coming soon. But now, what outweighs it? Do I leave it going and let the family deal with it, or do I end it and it'd be less harmful to them legally and emotionally if I end it and someone finds out about it? That would be the thought process he would be. I personally don't think, and for that reason, I don't think he ended it. I think it was ended properly and officially.
Yeah. By the way, Street. I had to bring that up, Street. It's just the image of somebody dragging that thing through back in 2017. I didn't know that until you said it. That was just fucking hilarious. I was telling my wife about it, man.
Forrest Fenn could have ended it.
It was sad. It was sad, Troy. It really was. It was I was embarrassed for him, honestly. And all joking aside, it was embarrassing to watch.
I can't imagine that. I would have been. And you said Forrest kept moving away, like because he was trying to be nice about it.
I watched 3 different times.
Oh my!
Within like an hour's time, there was 3 different shifts of that cowling. Man, it was embarrassing.
You know what he's talking about, right, Paul? And I interrupted you. You know what he's talking about, right?
No.
Basically, when they went, what is that, 2017? Fennboree?
2017, yeah.
Yeah, basically, when Bill bought that Model A cow to the Fennboree to show it to Forrest.
Oh, yeah.
But when he was following, he was dragging it around like anywhere Forrest would go. He's dragging a fucking cow around. Oh, that had to be hilarious. Hey, even Stewie's laughed.
Do you know what? Forrest must have sat down in his room with Shiloh and said to Shiloh, do you know what, son? There's some fucking crazy people out there that I've never known.
Well, I did notice this, Paul. Yeah. That's the only Fennboree I ever went to. It's the only time I ever seen those two together situation. And Shiloh was not far away. He was engaging people. They would separate within like 20 feet or so. And Shiloh would get circled and engaged, but every second or two he'd glance over to Grandpa. It was like, you cool? And they'd have the eye contact. If anything, and I started watching them, and there were certain people that came around him, Shiloh would instantly gravitate right next to him, shoulder to shoulder, and be a buffer. So, there was conversations. How could you not have a conversation? Put yourself in his shoes. Listen, grandson, we're going out. Keep an eye on this person, and this person. If it gets, we'll do this. We'll divert it to this. We'll do that. They definitely had a game plan. They were like shoulder to shoulder, man.
Forrest was a salesman. He was a businessman.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you there, Street. He would have known what people are going to do. He emails people, crazy people.
Okay, these guys are totally full of shit. I got there, I took the cowl out of the trunk of my car, and I put it against the wall. It stayed there until I left, and I grabbed it and put it back in the trunk of my car. I never dragged it around, and all of this that Street is telling you is a fantasy of his thoughts and imagination. It did not happen. If you look at the picture here, the cow is sitting right next to Candyman. It's right on the other side of Candyman. Actually, the cow was sitting there, and Forrest set the 2 chairs up there so that, and Forrest sat in the chair on the right. So anybody that sat next to him, that cow, the magic bullet was right there, could have bit him on the ass, and they didn't even notice that it was right there. And Forrest was laughing at everybody there for not noticing that car, like the toy car. Oh, if I was 30, I'd go dig up the whole landfill to find that car. Oh, yeah. And then they were talking about his airplane. He was hitting something's about that airplane, his plane being found and stuff. It was about his car being found. DFs. There are a bunch of DFs on the street gang. The street gang's a bunch of DFs. You know what? You can imagine what DF stands for. Those aren't the kind of D's that Forrest was looking for. It is so ridiculous, the lies that the street gang is putting out. They are just full of fucking lies.